In this segment, we're going to talk about cutting and the importance of it. In your position, a lot of times you're going to have the ball in your hands. A lot of times you're not going to have the ball in your hands. I think that cutting allows you, it's sort of like talking about big guys running in transition. We try to sell the fact that you got to run in transition because the more they run, they can grab a couple of layups a game, easy baskets by just rim running. With cutting, because of the fact defenses, especially off the ball, don't fixate on players that they're guarding, there's a lot of cutting opportunities. There's a lot of opportunities to get open baskets because 99% of the eyes are going to be fixated on the person with the ball in their hands, especially on pick and roll, especially on post-ups, especially in isolation. There are certain situations where you could be wide open on cuts. Especially when you're away from the ball and they're not fixated on you and they're not looking at you cutting. Coming towards the ball and then cutting and basket cutting. Passing the ball on the post and then relocating, cutting behind the defense. I think cutting is a very underrated skill for offensive players, that you could just get easy baskets or at least get fouled, and the worst thing you're going to do is cut through the lane and then have to relocate out. But I think cutting is a very, very underused tool for offensive players, and defensively, it's such a joke that, how defenders really don't respect players off the ball as much because they just keep their eyes off of them, and there's a lot of cutting opportunities. So let's dive in. First person we're going to look at is Devin Booker. All right. So again, simple cut into the lane, shot. Now this one was this one he's got his eyes on. Defender has his eyes on. It was just a tough shot. But most of these clips, just watch the eyes of the offense. Again, look, Draymond Green. But look at the whole Golden State team. Just cuts. The eyes are on the basketball. So many good opportunities in this film, with just ability just to get easy baskets, coming towards the basket, backdoor. Good. Again, just coming towards the ball and then back cut. DeMar DeRozan, same thing. One of the better scorers in the West, one of the better scorers in the league. And he's just very active, cutting and moving without the ball. Look, just has on a weak side of the floor. Eyes are off. Just cuts into the lane. Left-handed layup. Tough to guard, man. Again, has the ball in his hand. Gives it. Good. Not bad. All it needs is a second when you got to lose vision. Right to the basket. Just keep going hard. All right? It's a great skill to have. Very undervalued. Very underused in a lot of ways. Again, look at the eyes. No one's fixated on him. He's just wide open getting to the paint. These are opportunities that anybody could take advantage of. Good. Look at him from the weak side. Where are the eyes? Right down the lane. It should be good, especially if you're a high-minute player, you should be good for at least 2 or 3 cuts a game. Now we're going to look at Gary Harris. And we just did a video on Murray from Denver, in the point guard videos on cutting without the ball. And the same thing with Jamal Murray. It just, with good passing bigs, they just, with Jokic and Plumlee, they get open opportunities all the time. And this one's just a simple, just cut, going towards the ball, cut back to a cut, little floater. Again, anytime you pass, just keep moving. Just keep moving. I don't know what Buddy was thinking on this one, but just cut right to the basket. Always keep moving. Just keep it moving. You're harder to guard. You create opportunities. Something good's going to happen if you just continue to cut. Good. Just cut right down the lane. Good. Again, Trae Young just closes his eyes on him for a second. Sees him, doesn't see him, right down the lane. Now we're going to look at Jimmy Butler. Hard-nosed, screener, just one of the toughest players in the league, but great cutter. Great cutter. Cuts right in front. Just cuts right in front of the defense. Just attacks the rim. Again, if you get 4 to 6 points a game just on this, it just takes that much more pressure off you in the half court. If you could just cut, with the ball in your hands. I don't know. Again, off the screen here, it just gets messed up, and the defense ends up on his back, and just straight line cut down the lane. These cuts aren't very difficult, and you should take advantage of them as a player to be able to cut off the ball and create winning opportunities and winning plays for your team. Enters the ball in the post, sets a little split action, tries for a screen, doesn't even screen, right down the middle of the floor. Now we're going to look at Joe Harris. Not a great athlete as far as like straight up and down, jumping athlete, but great, one of the better shooters in the league, and a hard-ass cutter, hard-nosed player, but just look at the cuts. Good, spaced out, basket cut, right down the lane. Good. Again, it just takes a second. Cuts right to the floor. Good look. Everybody fixated where? On the ball. Cuts right down the lane. Finished. Just cut. Just plays hard, man. Just easy baskets. Here's LeBron James, one of the best players in the game. But getting easy cuts, people forget sometimes when he doesn't have the ball in his hands and how great of a cutter this guy is. Good. Off the ball. Now look. Good. Keeps his eyes. Good. Right down the center of the lane. Simmons is trying to look at both. Now they send Simmons at Davis. Cuts right behind him. Good. Again, just back cut right down the lane. It's not a hard way to play. Cut, just easy baskets. Here's Rondo. Cut. Again, everybody fixated on Rondo. And then there's the cut down the lane. Too late. Now we're going to look at Mikal Bridges. I mean, this guy is a hard-playing guy, cutter, athlete. Doesn't do anything difficult here, just cuts. Steps towards the ball. Look at the setup. Steps towards the ball. Right there. Cut. Good. Post entry. Now watch this. Turns his whole back to him. Right down the lane. Just generating easy points. LeBron's going to get caught in a couple of these, but again, this is hard. Sometimes you turn your head, but I always tell players I work with, especially in pick and roll offense, when your man, especially when you're in the corner, they're fixated on the ball like this, just cut behind him. There are opportunities everywhere for this. And it's not dominating the ball. It's not taking a lot out of your offense. It doesn't take a lot of effort. Good. Here's the drive right there. Just takes his eye off him for a second. That's all it takes to be able to cut in the lane and make a play. Back cut. Now we're going to look at Maxi Kleber for a few clips. Now Maxi's a player that unless you watch Dallas, you may not know about, but he's a hard-playing guy, great cutter, great off-the-ball player, just generates a lot of energy and just knows how to play. Screen, just cuts right there. Just a lot of activity at the rim by just being a hard-ass cutter. All right, Brunson drives. Everybody's fixated where? On the ball. All right. Maxey just cuts in, back cut. Sets a screen out for Luka. Just cuts to the bat, just rolls to the rim. Be active. Find ways to score. You're not going to get the ball a lot. You know, NBA, there's 510 players in the NBA, 105 get 10 shots or more. It has to be, not a lot of guys get plays called for them. Majority of the league doesn't. So you have to find ways. Here's the penetration. Look at everybody's eyes. All right, right there. Now a couple of Zion Williamson. Again, look at Whiteside. Wait for it. Wait for it. Right there. Zion Williamson, one of the most popular players in the planet right now. All right, everybody knows that he's a problem, but eyes are off him. Just cut, and they'll find him. So there you go. It's not that hard. Cutting is a very undervalued skill, underused skill in a lot of ways, and it could really generate points. It could generate energy. It could generate just sort of a value for you to be able to be a cutter. And look at it. It's not that hard because defense is just, they sort of lose focus on this. And then if you think about it, when you play defense, just to sort of keep an eye on it, where you can give up a couple of cuts to the basket by just keep taking your eyes off a player for a second. Be a good cutter. I mean, not everybody could have the ball in their hands at all times. You got to find other ways to generate offense. Hopefully this has had some value to you. I really appreciate you, sort of checking my content out, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.